I just absolutely love it. Nick, what is the biggest problem for Brooklyn?
So I was there last night.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we all know, everyone who watches this show knows exactly what the problem for Brooklyn yesterday was.
Oh, yes.
It's not next year anymore.
Oh, that's
So
true.
the next year Nets it's now this year, and the games are no longer on paper, and they actually have to play. And real fun game, everybody. Let's do a draft of things that are good about the Nets. I'll go first. They have Kevin Durant. Yeah. Is there a second pick? Is there a second option? I can't think of one. You know what they played like last night, Brew? They played like a team that wanted their coach fired. And guess what? They kind of did want their coach fired. So, listen, they can't rebound. They haven't been able to defend in 3 years, and they don't run an offense. So, you know, aside from that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? So, Brew, it was great to be there. There was an empty seat next to me. You couldn't go. You were doing radio. Wildes I left a ticket for him.
That was a fake invite.
Well, it was an empty seat that he never showed up to, so he missed not that much, except for watching Zion. But, Brew, that's your team. But it's the next year Nets, and now it's this year, so it's a problem.
America, hear this.
We're going right to camera.
Put the camera right on me. I want you to hear me loud and clear, America, and that includes you two.
Oh, come here.
Can a brother get a do-over? A mulligan,
it's one game.
A proxy vote, something. I mean, some great something. I mean, let's do it. It's only one game in. We're 1 day in. Let's just do it over. It's not they haven't played much.
Amazing.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, of course. Get those X's off the screen. I am riding with the Nets as hard as ever. And listen to me. It's one game.
Yeah, of 82.
It's one of 82. Nick, I want to ask you, are you done with Dallas? Because they blew a 22-point lead last night to Damian Lee.
No,
they made Damian Lee look like Steph Curry.
At least at some point, Dallas looked good. They were up by 22.
It was a rhetorical question, but I'm just saying. But I mean, are we done with Denver? Are they not a playoff team? Because they lost to a Utah team that's not even trying to win. Danny Ainge is the angriest man in the NBA right now. Like, what are we doing?
We're talking about Dallas and Denver. We're supposed to be talking about your Nets.
Okay, look, this is why I'm riding with the Nets. 3 quick reasons.
3?
Their 3 best players, and you'll agree with this, are playing for something huge.
Who's their 3rd best player?
Ben Simmons.
Oh, I don't know about that one, buddy.
Well, there you go. He would have. A year ago, it wouldn't have been a question. That proves my point. Ben Simmons is playing to show he's not the tin man, right? To show he's got some heart. Yeah, okay? Kyrie Irving is playing to show that he's not just a highlight reel, that he's not just a Harlem Globetrotter.
You know what? In Kyrie's defense, he showed last night he's not a highlight reel.
Hey, well, okay. But Kevin Durant is playing to show us what? That he can lead a team. And I saw something, Wildes, after the game. You got to be perceptive to see this. I saw something last night after the game in the post-game interview that I liked. I liked that they got punched in the face, and KD did something I've been asking him to do since he left Golden State. Let's see it, Dusty.
First quarter, down 32-14. I mean, I came out and had 3 turnovers, and then the first shot I took was just a horrible shot. It just set a bad precedent for the rest of the night. So I got to come out more locked in. I mean, I felt like I was locked in, but I just got to be better.
What did you like about
pretty
that?
Good.
Here's what I liked about it. KD was the only net, of the stars that showed up.
Yeah.
He played fine. He started slow, but he was great, and he took the blame.
Yeah,
That's the leader.
KD's a great player.
He could have pointed fingers. He took it upon his own shoulders.
Fingers, point thumbs.
How many times have you seen him do that?
Okay, that's fine.
He took it.
But that's all they have going
keep
for
it up.
Wildes. Right. That's all they have going.
Here's my issue.
That's a leader.
For a team that is supposed to be exciting to watch, and is always like the top of the league pass, rankings.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that Kyrie says this is a special team. The team is sneaky boring. It's a sneaky, boring
They don't
team
run an
to
offense.
It was
watch.
one game.
Look at the Nets' isolation offense, which they led the league in ISO plays last year. Like, don't worry, Steve Nash, when he wasn't being fired by his star player, had a whole summer to cook up something new, and we got the same stuff. The other thing, a little bit of heart, Broussard, I'd like to see from a team that has a lot to prove. You know, an easy way to show a lot of heart? offensive rebounding, or defense. Here was the offensive rebounding, second chance points. 36-4 in favor of the Pelicans. Zion's up there grabbing rebounds.
It was a bad game.
No,
it was a bad
It's a
night.
weird number,
I'll give you that.
36-4.
Listen, the next year Nets will always be the next year Nets. And now we are this year, and you realize, wait, they still don't have any front court depth with respect to bruised guy Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal almost
T.J.
bumped.
Warren.
T.J. Warren. T.J. Warren was good for 2 games in the bubble.
Well, he's hurt right now.
2 years ago. And that's but hold on. Let's talk about the real issues at hand. Because Durant's sensational. I mean, you see last night why he spent 6 weeks trying to get out of town and why he tried to get Nash fired. Kyrie's out here talking about winning MVPs and Defensive Player of the Year awards. And both of them are as realistic as the other. They're both 0%. But the big addition was supposed to be Ben Simmons. We have a nice little highlight package.
Okay.
It's every shot Ben Simmons took. Here, let's go through it. Let's show you Ben Simmons' shots because they all have something in common. They're all alley-oops. He finished 2. There was 1 he did not finish. That was it. All of his shots are alley-oops. So he had 3 field goal attempts, all alley-oops. He also had 5 assists.
And he fouled out.
I'd like to show you the 5 assists.
Really?
4 of the 5. Here they are. I mean, this is if that's not worth $30 million, this type of court vision,
right.
I don't know what is. I mean, you can't just find these assists anywhere. I mean, there's a guy out there making plays. Oh wait, Nick, you're being a little unfair. My favorite one's the last one, by the way. You're being a little unfair, Nick. There's the last one. He's there. He's there for his defense. He's there for his defense.
Is that not on Steve Nash?
And Zion, just real quick, and Zion abused him every time he was on him. Of course it's on Nash.
Okay.
But Nash is not a good coach. And this is not a well-constructed roster. And they can't defend. And they have the 2 least reliable max players in the sport that are on, 2 of the least reliable max players in the sport. And so I don't know why anyone would have been surprised by what they saw last night.
Well, no, I don't think many people expect them to get blasted the way they did. You could have thought they might lose, but to get beat that badly, the question is Nash. Nash and Sean Marks has got to, just like they took control of the franchise this offseason, and I'll give him props for that. But he's got to be willing to do what needs to be done. And if in a few weeks that means getting rid of Nash, then so be it. But you're right. Nash has got to show that he's coaching his team.
Yeah. Can I make one prediction?
Yeah, then we're moving to Zion, but go.
They are more likely to be back in the play-in than they are to make their first conference finals together. They are more likely to be back in forget NBA finals. They are more likely to be in the 7 to 10 range than they are to be in the conference finals at the end.
Okay, we're going to see the other team that they were playing. Oh, someone had this team being frisky months ago. Brandon Ingram looked great. Zion looked great. CJ looked like a crafty veteran with a vineyard. Brew, are you ready to hop aboard the Pelican train and believe in Zion and the frisky Pelicans?
I like them, Wildes. I do. And you know what I liked most? That Zion, Brandon Ingram, and C.J. McCollum fit together.
Yes.
They played complementary basketball together. All of them was able to shine and be a star. And that's what you want. Too many times, the third guy can't be a star. You know what I mean? You got your 2 stars kind of stepping on each other's toes. They fit well. Now, maybe it has something to do with the Nets' bad defense, but still, it was a great start.
Listen, it was a great start. I am still somewhat skeptical that Brandon Ingram is the right number 2 for Zion.
Why do you always say that? Because I thought they played.
I think Brandon Ingram wants to be a 1. And I think Brandon Ingram is, my informed opinion on this is that is not necessarily like Brandon Ingram's long-term goals to be like the great wingman to Zion Williamson. So I think that could percolate down the road. But on the court last night, it was sensational, and it was thrilling to have Zion Williamson back in our lives.
Absolutely.
Like as longtime viewers of the show know, we all love the league, but we all have 3 guys. Like Brew's 3 guys are Ja,
Yes.
Kawhi, and Kevin Durant. Those are Brew's 3 guys.
Really?
I thought they were. Maybe I'm wrong.
I like them all.
I thought those were the 3 guys.
I don't know.
The Wildes' 3 guys, we all know, are Patrick Beverly. He had Jai traded Beverly for him. Chet and Giannis. Giannis was a good pick.
What about Alvarez, the dude in Orlando?
I'm gonna have
Jose?
Or
New Orleans.
Yeah.
We got him.
And my 3 guys are LeBron, Luka, and Zion. And Zion,
not.
what?
No, they're
First
not.
of all, Nick, this is completely made up thing from you. Our 3 guys.
We all have
Have
3
you ever
guys.
defined your 3 guys?
Well, sometimes, I have long lists, but
I haven't defined my 3 guys. I just came and Nick gave me 3 guys
Ja
because
was
he
your
took
guy.
2 of my guys, LeBron and Luka.
First of all, you've got LeBron 3 times.
No.
And you have one little dose of Luka.
No.
You don't be like, Zion's my guy, too.
Zion's
I
been my
watched
guy.
him at Duke.
Zion's been my guy.
He
Zion's
claimed
been my
them
guy.
when I was just
Can I give you one stat before we go to break? A lot of it was like, you know what, Ben, a little bit rusty. Maybe you guys shake the rust off. Zion hadn't played in 533 games. Or, days. 533 games is a lot of games. Ben hadn't played in 486. So Zion has been out far longer, came back like that.
That's why I didn't throw out the rust. That's why I didn't play the rust card.
I don't know if we.
I was like, no.
He's the most.
One of these 2 will come back with Zion. So I'm
He's
letting
the most
go.
prolific paint scorer in the last 20 years in the NBA, thus far to his career. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.